In this video, I will share pivot point trading strategies and how to use pivot points in your trading. So hello, welcome back, and let's talk about pivot points today. I got asked a lot, and Moritz is using a day trading strategy where he uses pivot points, and ever since we're doing the masterclass together and I get more exposure towards his trading approach, I started looking into pivot points more. So let's take a look at how to use pivot points in your trading. So what are pivot points? Pivot points are used often as support and resistance level and for other purposes, but we need to look one step earlier at what are pivot points and how are they calculated. So pivot points are very simple to calculate, and there's always a central pivot point. It could be your daily, your weekly, or your monthly, depending on the time frame, and it always follows the same calculation. You take the low, you add the high, and you take the close of the period. You sum them up and then you divide them by 3. So you have an average of the high, the close, and the low. The pivot point does not automatically fall in the middle between the high and the low, obviously, because the close can be higher to the high, it can be closer to the low, and the pivot point is just an average out of those 3 points. When you look at the pivot points, you will see that above and below the central pivot point, which is the one here in red, you have pivot point levels such as the S1, S2, it goes all the way until S4 or S5. And above the central pivot points, you have resistance pivot points, such as R1 and R2, R3, R4, and so on. And the way they are used is that you add the high and the low and the distances towards from them to the central pivot point. In this video, I'm going to share only central pivot point trading strategies. So we are not going to take a look at the R and the S pivot points. So I'm not going to take a very deep look at how to calculate them and what they are. So we are going to take a look at central pivot point strategies. You can use them obviously in many different ways. And what we are going to do is we're going to use them as support and resistance. And we're going to use them as breakout pivot points and rejection areas. So we're going to look at where is the central pivot point for the day or for the week, depending on which time frame you choose. And then we're going to use them to make trading decisions and to find trading opportunities. So for example, here on the left-hand side and at point 1 and 2, the central pivot point here in red acted as a support level. Then it was a rejection level. At 2, it was the same after the market traded away from the pivot points, from the central pivot point specifically. It was rejected here. It moved to the next pivot point. And here it was rejected twice again, and then it entered a range after it also found resistance at the R1 pivot point. So you can see pivot points, the daily and R1, R2 and the S levels are often used as resistance and support. At point 4, we are going to look at a rejection first. You can see the market rejected the central pivot point first, and then a breakout was initiated away from the pivot point. This is something that we're going to take a look at in a bit. This is a very popular trading strategy that can be applied right away. But first of all, the first trading approach to daily pivot points and central pivot points specifically are rejections. Rejections of pivot points are very common. So here, for example, we are using it on the 15-minute time frame. But you can just as well use it on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour, and go even up to the higher time frames such as the daily or even higher. So what you are going to look for is the market move into the central pivot point, and then you look for rejection. Here in this case you have a double failed breakout attempt above the central pivot point. The market was rejected twice, and then after rejection was confirmed, the market traded lower. So you could use this as an indication to look for bearish setups, maybe even on the lower time frames, or you add other tools such as a moving average maybe, or a stochastic to time your trades. Here as well, after this downtrending leg, the market made a little bit of a consolidation, tried to initiate a rally, was rejected again on the next day at the central pivot point. You can see on the downtrend, the central pivot points will move lower obviously, because the high, the low, and the close are lower compared to the day before. And again, the market tried to break above the highs, was rejected again at the pivot point, and then continued its downfall. Here as well, you have rejection of a central pivot point with a candlestick bar. So here in this example, you can see the market. Here was the previous day's pivot point. Then the market tried to sell into it, was rejected, tried to pull away, tried to break out with a very strong breakout attempt, but was rejected, and then the new uptrend started. So sometimes you can see an immediate rejection with a pin bar of or around a central pivot point. And if you can't see that with the pin bar, and then the next candle was a very, very strong momentum bar, then you can have a very good idea that the market doesn't have enough power to stay below the pivot point. And then the rally started afterwards. Here again, very, very similar. At point 1, you can see that in this case, the central pivot point before that was higher. So the market was in a downtrend. And then the market sold back into or rallied back into the central pivot point. It was resistance here. And then here, the market tried to break out, was rejected, and the next candle here was super strong. So again, a very high momentum bar was indicating that not only was the market rejecting the pivot point, but the market was also selling off at the same time. So very, very strong selling signal. And then the market plunged into the S2 level, where it then found support. On the next day, it tried to rally back into the pivot point. Again, very similar to what has happened here. A rejection first as a normal resistance, and then a failed breakout attempt. The market also gave you, in this case, a trend line, and you can often add trend lines very, very nicely around pivot point structures, as we will see in the next few slides. So you can see very nice resistance, or the pivot point held as resistance here very nicely. At the lows, you can draw a trend line. The trend line was broken and then retested, and then the market went lower very sharply. Here again, a few more pivot point rejection examples. The market rallied into the central pivot point, got rejected, and then traded back into the lower S1 and then into the S2 level. On the next day, the market tried to break out again above the highs and above the central pivot point, but was rejected, came back into the level, and it held again as resistance. And then again, it sold off into the S2 level. So in a downtrend, and you can see previously the market was also in a downtrend because the central point is higher than this one. So the market was already coming down. In a downtrend, you will often see that the market is coming back to retest the pivot point. And if you see that the retest is holding and you see such a failed rejection or a real rejection, a failed breakout, then you can often have an attempt for another bullish or bearish run in this case. So a trend continuation. Here in this example, we can draw very nice trend lines. And the market was in a downtrend. You can see that here and here and here. The central pivot point was always moving down. And you can see the market comes into the central pivot points a few times, tested at resistance. The central pivot point is holding. The trend line here is established very nicely. And then on the breakout, the downtrending leg is starting. On the next day, the same happens again. The market is coming back into the pivot point. It never is able to break above it. Very strong resistance here at the central pivot point. And then on the trend line break, the market sells off into S2. And on the next day, the trend was even stronger to the downside. The market was not able to pull into the pivot point and stayed below it. We have another trend line, and the market completely sold off again. So seeing that the market keeps rallying back into a pivot point in a trending market as a pullback, this could be your pullback strategy as well. Look for a trend line breakout. Sometimes you will be able to draw a horizontal level of support and resistance, or you just simply wait for a rejection with a strong pin bar or another candlestick entry. Here as well, very nice rejection. You can see the market is coming into the central pivot point. Very, very good rejection here. Very strong candlestick. And then the market rallies above it, breaks above the trend line, comes back into the trend line, retests the trend line, and then rallies. And again, here on the next day, very early on, in the next session, the market tried to break the trend line to the downside, was rejected immediately, and then the uptrend continued. And the final example, and you can see they're all very, very similar. So this is something that you will find time and time again. the market is coming or is in a downtrend here, comes back into the central pivot point, is not able to break it, establishes this very nice, well-defined trend line, breaks the trend line and sells off. And on the next day again, the market comes back into the central pivot point, rejects it very, very nicely, is not able to close to the pivot point, not able to break above it. And then in this case, you have a horizontal line. The breakout happens very precisely and the market keeps selling off. So pivot points are a tool that you can use during trending phases, for pullback strategies as well. Wait until the market gets to a central pivot point and then look for rejections, maybe draw trend lines, maybe see if you can find a horizontal support and resistance level. And then once the market breaks such a structure, then look for entries into the direction of the trend and use pivot points as your entry trigger or as your confirmation. You could then use the S1 or the S2 as targets as well, if that is something that you would like to explore. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up on the video. And you maybe have noticed that I disabled new advertising on this channel. So I'm not annoying you anymore with advertising on this YouTube channel. And if you want to keep it this way, make sure to like and comment and share this channel as much as possible. And if I see that there is a lot of positive feedback, I will keep the ads disabled. So until the next time, happy trading.